nothing for granted.
All right, Laura, we'll keep an eye on that. The Packers have won the toss. They're going to receive the football and a short kickoff. It's Bo Melton, the up returner, who receives the kickoff. And Melton trying to get to the 30-yard line with a flag down behind the play is tackled by Josh Blackwell prior to getting to the 30-yard line. And we'll see about the flag as we hear from Clay Martin on the very first play of the game.
During the return, holding. Receiving team number 30. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Chris Brooks called for the hold, and Jordan Love will back up as they start their first offensive possession of the afternoon. He has been red hot over the last 6 games, Daryl. 9 touchdowns, no interceptions for Jordan Love.
Yeah, and that has been without Christian Watson, and you're starting to see the importance of him at that wide receiver spot, but I've liked to watch Jordan Love grow, kind of get those other guys involved in the offense. One of the big things today will be that running game for the Packers to help him out.
Christian Watson is back today, suffered a knee injury against the Saints. He was out last week. He's back out there today. We'll see how much he plays today for Green Bay. And on the very first play to the sideline, and Dontavian Wicks, who expects to see more time with Romeo Doubs out with a late illness, as we check out the offense for the Green Bay Packers. And really for this offense, it all starts with number 8, Josh Jacobs.
It really does. He is really, really fun to watch. One of the better running backs in the NFL. I go back to that Seattle game and the way they leaned on him at the start of that game. There's a big stat out there when you look at Green Bay. When he's got 13+ touches in the first half, it bodes well for the Packers.
Second and 4, first touch for Jacobs. Blasts up the middle for a first down to the 32. Tremaine Edmonds on the tackle. 5th in the NFL in rushing, in the first carry, a first down.
And it's great to be able to have all these different functions, and you've got to worry about Jaden Reed coming around the outside. It's really going to challenge the eyes of the Bears defenders. They're going to have to be very, very good with that during the course of the game because of the movement and the misdirection that Green Bay uses in their run game.
The real question coming into this game was, how much are you going to see of Josh Jacobs? How much will you see of Christian Watson? Knowing that the difference for the Packers today is the potential 6 seed versus the 7 seed. Second carry for Jacobs and a pickup of 2. And for this Bears defense, they're certainly interested in what they can do with Josh Jacobs, but this unit has really struggled, especially over the last month.
It's just been such a challenging season for Chicago, and they've been so close on so many different occasions. You just wonder if that bucket is empty right now. And over the last month, just to see the drop-off, after those heartbreaking divisional losses in consecutive weeks, it's been hard to get this group performing back at the level they had expectations for entering the season.
Second down and 9 for Green Bay. Melton in motion. Love to the air, checks it short to Jacobs, and Edmonds right there to drop him at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 2, and it'll bring up third down. And you were talking about that Bears defense, Daryl, and Eric Washington, the defensive coordinator who's taken over that role when Matt Eberflus was let go. That's a difficult position to be in. It's not like that's his defense that he installed.
Exactly, and it's just one of those dominoes that starts to tip when you make that change and you elevate Thomas Brown up. Now you've brought Chris Beatty into the offensive coordinator position as an interim, and now Coach Washington is there taking over the defense. So that one domino falls, but there's a lot of other changes for the Bears organization.
4-man rush on 3rd and 7. Love trying to buy some time on the run. Throws it at the feet of Tucker Kraft. It's incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the big things here this afternoon is going to have to be the pairing of the rush and the coverage. And Jordan Love had time there. So let's give that one to the back end. A nice job in coverage. Nowhere for Jordan Love to go with that football.
So the Bears get the stop. Daniel Whelan on to punt with Josh Blackwell back deep. High snap. Whelan tracks it down. There's no rush, and Whelan able to get off a punt. Fortunate for the Packers, they avert a little early trouble as Whelan gathers himself and punts it to the 30-yard line. The high snap, and the 6'5" Daniel Whelan able to gather and get rid of it for Green Bay.
A great example of what Matt LaFleur does not want to have happen today. Here's a mistake, but it's not compounded. It's a great job by Daniel Whelan. Great hop. Check the look at the punt team. They've got a return on, so you're lucky. You have time to get that punt off. A lot of times when you get a situation like that, that punter will grab the ball and just immediately start to run. And you can see Coach Bisaccia, how impressed he was with that. I can't tell you, that looks like something small, but that is a huge play by Daniel Whelan.
Went over to talk to the long snapper, Matt Orzik. Little correction on his technique, giving the punter praise. A 35-yard punt in that scenario looks pretty good to Green Bay. And now Caleb Williams and the Bears from their own 30-yard line start off first down and 10. Odunze in motion, and there's a snap problem. Williams under pressure, and he's sacked by Rashawn Gary. Remember, coldest game Caleb Williams has ever played in. Hands get cold. Ball comes back hard right through the hands.
Yeah, how about that back-to-back, a couple of high snaps. It looks like Caleb Williams looks it all the way and gets on him quick, but then another nice hop, your composure. But unfortunately on that situation, Rashawn Gary won very quick at the line of scrimmage.
68th sack allowed by the Bears this season. 2nd and 17, and nowhere to go for Cole Kmet. Bullard is there immediately to bury the Bears tight end.
It's one of the areas that they've got to get a little bit better at. You know, if you're going to run these quick screens, you got to be a good blocker. You know, don't go upfield when your defender hasn't backtracked. Put yourself in a position to be able to make that block. That's the most important thing to have that play be successful. Rome Odunze just had a horrible angle on that block.
And now 3rd and 21 for Chicago. Play clock at 2. At 1, Clappin for the snap. He just gets it off. And he'll check it short to Roschon Johnson, who's down at the 20-yard line. The Chicago Bears will end this season without a touchdown on an opening drive, and their 11th 3-and-out in 17 opening drives this season. Unbelievable
to have that consistency during the course of the year where you cannot get anything started from a positive perspective. And I want to go back to what Laura touched on at the beginning with Jeff Hafley, you know, encouraging his defense to try and get to that #1 in takeaways across the league. You talk about getting to the ball and hustling to the ball. That was impressive on that opening series, how quick they are moving to the football.
Torrey Taylor to punt it away. And a line drive punt, driving Jaden Reed back to the 25-yard line. Reed dancing around to the 35 and down near the 40. Let's go back to the very first play of the game and the errant snap that Caleb Williams had slipped through his hands.
Yeah, and you mentioned that this is the coldest game that either one of these quarterbacks have played in. So you're going to try and make some adjustments. What feels comfortable, what doesn't feel comfortable. You'll see some quarterbacks sometimes put it on that opposite throwing hand, put that glove on that opposite throwing hand. Obviously right there, Caleb Williams did not like the way that felt pregame.
Yeah, he tried it out with several snaps in the pregame, didn't like it, took the glove off, and going gloveless at least to start as Emmanuel Wilson takes it over the right side for a pair. TJ Edwards on the tackle. Packers, they know they're in the playoffs. The only question is what seed. They can be the 6th seed with a win today and a Washington loss to Dallas, or the 7th seed and they'd rematch with Philadelphia, who they played in the early stages of this year in Brazil to start the season on a Friday night. Wilson stays in the backfield on 2nd down and 8. Love checks it short to Tucker Kraft with blockers in front, and Kraft fights his way for a first down, or perhaps just short of the first down yard. And Dallas with the 3-0 lead early over Washington. Handoff on 3rd and short with 3 tight ends out there for Green Bay, and it's a first down for Emmanuel Wilson. Tyreek Stevenson finished it off.
We touched on Josh Jacobs and how important he is in the running game and kind of that statistic, and you wonder if that was kind of what get you out there in the beginning. Surprised to see Emmanuel Wilson getting this series here to start on the second possession for Green Bay.
And the question was all week long, how much would you see guys like Josh Jacobs in a game that has meaning but doesn't have the ultimate meaning? It's not a win or in, lose or out situation for Green Bay. Wilson gets the toss, trying to find room on the outside. Good cutback to find a lane to the Bears' 44.
A nice job with the cutback. A nice job by this Green Bay offensive line. If we're going to talk about Josh Jacobs and how much he means to this team, we also have to talk about those guys up front in the run blocking. One of the things you see with the good offensive lines is everybody stays on their feet, and they're able to move with that defensive line and get into their gaps and their fits without going to the ground.
This team loves to run the football, over 50% run plays this year, third most in the National Football League. Love will throw, quick toss, in and out of the hands of Christian Watson, his first target since returning to the lineup today after that knee injury 2 weeks ago against New Orleans.
Yeah, when we talk about the strategy of getting ready for that playoff game next week, I really think the addition of Christian Watson to this roster and coming out here playing early is a little bit surprising to me. You know, you got a week. You can play with the week. They got a really good receiving core. There's depth there. There's an opportunity to look at other people. I know the big topic of conversation, one of the other ones is how valuable Christian Watson is. And to me, that might be why we want to make sure he's as close to 100% next week as he can be.
Love with the pocket collapsing, throws it at the feet of Chris Brooks, who just checked in. It'll bring up 4th down and 6, and the punt team comes on again for Green Bay.
You got your guys walked up in those A-gaps, showing a little bit of pressure here, and that's going to make Jordan Love think at the snap, but it's just going to be the 4 down linemen that are coming, and that time they got the pressure. So we showed you earlier there was time for Jordan Love to make the throw, and it was the secondary for Chicago that held up. That time it was the front that was speeding up that clock.
Wheeling to punt it away, cleaner operation this time, trying to pin everybody deep, and it's fielded on the far sideline. It's Blackwell, a little bit of trickery in the special teams game, and Blackwell is going to take it all the way for a Chicago touchdown. 94-yard return, his first career punt return touchdown, and the Bears take a 6-0 lead.
Great job by the Bears special teams and Richard Hightower. It's one of those situations where you have to locate the football, right? As a coverage team, where is the football? Not where is the returner, but where is the football? Because you're going to think he's over there, but he's actually up here. And nobody from Green Bay really locates that punt as it's going downfield, and they have all moved over to the right side.
And now Santos will try the extra point. And it is good. Over 361 minutes of game time. And it took a little bit of a decoy from DJ Moore to get that touchdown on the board for Chicago.
A great sell job, because the one thing DJ Moore can't do backed up inside his 10 is signal fair catch. And Rich Bisaccia just has to be so frustrated, because you had the snap to Daniel Whelan on the opening series, and now you let a punt return touchdown on something basic where all you need to do as the punt coverage team is track the ball.
Coach Bisaccia, that's after the most recent kickoff. He's still not elated with what he's seen.
It has not been clean on special teams.
And back to work. 1st down and 10 for the Packers. Jacobs back in the backfield. Love over the middle finds Dontavian Wicks, who's got a 1st down out near the 44-yard line. 15-yard pickup as the Packers hustle up to the line. We were talking with Matt LaFleur. He said, I just want to play clean. I thought last week was really sloppy as it was and as slow as we started. I just want us to play a clean and a mistake-free game. He said, I have a higher standard for our guys.
Yeah, and that's simply what it is. It's not just being sloppy. You can improve, but he's got a standard that he wants these guys to play at.
And movement up front early. It had been Jonathan Ford who came across. Was he drawn off by movement on the Packers front?
Encroachment. Defense number 64. 5-yard penalty. It's first down and 5.
It was Ford.
And one of the things in this Packer offense, I remember talking to Aaron Rodgers about it, is just how many different cadences they have. And, the inflection and just when a young quarterback really buys into that.
So now with the 1st and 5, not only is Jordan Love still in, he goes out to the top. It's Malik Willis in at quarterback. So you have Willis in with Love to the top of your screen. And it'll be Willis who keeps it, gets the football into Bears territory down to the 48-yard line. We saw Malik Willis early in this season. Was Jordan Love going to be a blocker? Let's find out.
He's stalking him. All right. It's one of the other things you do, in this situation, right? Let's put some things up there on film and make our opponent think about what we're going to do in week 1 of the playoffs.
2nd down and 2. 3 tight ends out there again for Green Bay. Josh Jacobs with the carry, and Jacobs with a Packer first down to the 42-yard line. Looking for clean play all day from that Packer team, Laura.
That's why I think Matt LaFleur was surprised when I did ask him how long are we going to see the starters today, because he was like, we're playing to win this game. And he got back to, we have not played clean. We do not have a lot of time. We don't even know how many practices we're going to get as we go into the playoffs. His message was, we have to maximize the time we have. That's this game, that's practice, that's everything.
Yeah, and you don't know. Are you playing Saturday? Are you playing Sunday? Are you playing Monday? All are possibilities when the postseason schedule comes out late tonight. Love. He'll step up, wants a deep shot, floats it over the middle, and a sliding grab at the 23 by Luke Musgrave. And a first down for Green Bay, picking up 19. They'll hustle up to the line. Now they're going to rule it incomplete. No need to hustle. After expedited review, the pass is incomplete. Boy.
I don't know. I really think that he gets his hands underneath that, hands and arms underneath. I never saw that hit the ground.
So they rule it incomplete. They back it up.
Let's see from this angle. Are we not seeing it correctly? I mean, it really looks like it gets all the way in. I think it's a heck of a job by Luke Musgrave. Hands underneath. Pulled to the body. That's a catch. Matt LaFleur's got to throw that flag. He's got it out. He's got it in his hand. He's waiting for some information. There he goes.
And that was more of a disgusted spike, not necessarily a throw by the former quarterback at Saginaw Valley State.
Yeah, we're not. It was kind of that. All right, we've got replay assist right now. I'm going to drop this flag on the ground, but I should not be using my challenge flag on this.
Timeout.
Well, you see it on the monitor. Call is reversed on the challenge by Matt LaFleur. Mike Pereira is with us in our Fox studios in Los Angeles. Help us sort this out. It was a catch. It wasn't a catch. Now it's a catch again.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if replay really recognized the fact that on the field they ruled it as complete. And then they got involved thinking maybe they said incomplete. It was a catch. But whatever, Green Bay should not be charged with a challenge here. That's the hard part. The video assist that is supposed to be when it's clear and obvious, and that was not. So the right call ends up being made. It's just now whether or not they end up challenging, which I will find out.
Yes, find out for sure. We all saw the challenge flag thrown as Bo Melton on the end around gets blasted at the 23-yard line. Tyreek Stevenson with a big-time hit.
Yeah, this is really well done because it's going to be the end around, and Tyreek Stevenson, he was in man coverage in that, so he's tracking Bo Melton all the way across the field and does a great job. And that's one of the areas where he's really started to grow this year. Everybody goes back to the Hail Mary and the mistake there. They sat him down. He's earned his right to get back into that starting lineup and get more snaps. And one of the big things that has done that is his run defense.
2nd and 9, Love incomplete. Looking for Heath. It's Stevenson again. There are no flags, and it's 3rd and 9. So no yellow flags on that play, but we mentioned the challenge by LaFleur. He's looking at it going, that's a catch. What am I doing? Do I have to use this flag? Why do I have to challenge this? Like, fine, I'm going to challenge it. Watch, I'm going to challenge it. There it is.
Disgusted. A disgusted challenge.
It's his first successful challenge.
Well, he had all the
season.
proof on the Jumbotron. That was an easy one.
Love sets it up for Kraft. Breaks the first contact with Kevin Byard, who has the 3rd most tackles of all defensive backs in the National Football League, there to finish it off short of the first down, and the field goal unit coming on for Green Bay.
Well, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks for Matt LaFleur and the officials. You go back to the Edgerrin Cooper last week against Minnesota, neutral zone infraction on the field goal attempt. You had an illegal formation that he wasn't happy with. So this is just a kind of a continuation where these calls are going against him. He's getting frustrated.
37-yard try. Brandon McManus, since he was added to the Green Bay roster in mid-October this year, has been a revelation for the Packers. He's only missed 1 kick, extra points, and field goals series of late. They have dominated, including on November 17th when they won 20-19, blocking the Cairo Santos field goal. Packers have won 11 in a row against Chicago, but the Bears have the 7-3 lead thanks to the 94-yard punt return that gave Chicago the lead.
Right? How can this be a meaningless game when you look at the history of this rivalry? You know, the 208th meeting, those black and white photos going back to those games. I mean, that is awesome.
And on a bounce.
Oh.
And then almost a knee. Didn't get the knee down. Tyler Scott, fortunate that knee didn't graze grass, and then the ball pops out at the end of the play, and it's covered up by Terrell Smith.
Yeah, let's take a look, all right? So you can take a knee in there, but you don't want to take a knee right there.
Ooh.
Wow.
Did that knee get down on the grass? That is awfully close. They were out with the mowers before the game. There was some frost and snow on the field, and they just mowed. If they hadn't mowed, the grass may have been tall enough to graze the knee of Tyler Scott. And now Matt LaFleur has the challenge flag again in his hand. Is he going to challenge again? He's saying, look, what is that? Did he touch his knee? Pointing at the big screen here at Lambeau Field. He's going to keep the flag in his pocket for the moment. And the Bears are going to hurry up and snap it. He's got the flag in his hand again. Wow. Is he going to throw it? Nope. He shoved it back in his pocket. They must have decided it didn't quite get the knee onto the turf. And on first down, Roshan Johnson is trimmed up in the backfield by T.J. Slayton. Good penetration by the 4th-year man from Florida. Let's go back to Mike Pereira, the 3rd member of our booth today from our Fox studios in Los Angeles, to talk about that last one, Mike.
Yeah, we saw it live and we went, oops, like what did he do? But again, he did an oops, but he's not down by contact. So they're really not going to go to the give himself up situation here. As long as he doesn't stay down for a length of time, he's not down by contact, he can get up in advance.
Boy, almost a big oops. 2nd and 14, play clock at 1, play clock at 0 as he gets the snap. Williams pressured, Chase throws on the run, and he threw it away. Lucas Van Ness was hot on his heels, looking for the 2nd sack of the day for the Green Bay defense.
This offensive line, there was conversations about it, you know, are his eyes starting to drop down and looking at the pass rush? Because there's been so much flux and change in this offensive line, and it's the one group that has to build their camaraderie and their chemistry throughout the course of the year. And the good teams have consistency in that starting five. The Bears have had anything but. And it's starting to impact Caleb Williams here at the end of the season because he has lost his trust in those guys to protect him.
Pressure again from Gary. He dumps it off to Roshan Johnson. Johnson going airborne to get a little extra yardage as he hopped over Keyshawn Nixon. Short of the first down, and it's 4th down in Green Bay. Time for our first game break of the afternoon. We check in with future of the Bears, quarterbacking the Bills today as they close out their regular season. And now movement up front. Remember, 4th and 7. We'll see.
False start. Offense number 46. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's Scott Daly, the long snapper, with the false start. Man with the ball in his hands, moving early. Torrey Taylor, who is on the verge of breaking the single-season punt average record held since 1949 by the Bears, lining up to punt this away. 4th down and 12. Jaden Reed falls for the fair catch. He'll make it near the 27-yard line, and that is where the Packers will start first. And now 1st down and 10. Could be the final play of the quarter coming up here.
19, set up.
And on 1st down and 10, Josh Jacobs in the backfield, and the motion man Jaden Reed gets the carry, and Reed fumbles the football, scooped up by Jonathan Owens, and Owens takes it inside the Green Bay 20. Tremaine Edmonds knocked it out. Owens scooped it up, and the Bears are in business with 2 seconds to play in the first.
I tell you, it's amazing to me how good everybody is across the board in the NFL at the punch. It all originated with Chicago and Charles Tillman. Look at that right there. Just a great job by Jalen Johnson. He's just standing off to the side and boop, watch him. Unbelievable, the hand-to-eye coordination to get these balls freed up.
And Jalen Johnson, the only Pro Bowler for the Bears this year with the punch out. 1st down and 10. Odunze in motion. And on 1st down, DeAndre Swift with the carry. And that'll take us to the end. Since the first weekend Fox did football, when the Rams led Arizona on September 4th of 1994. Kenny Albert was on the call, by the way, for that game.
Game 1.
Make the toss. Williams finds DJ Moore. Moore with blockers inside the 10, tripped up at the 5. Bullard saves the touchdown for the moment, but it's 1st and goal, Chicago.
Well, we talked about Rome Odunze earlier in the game. Watch 15 on this one. He's going to go up and do a really nice job on Carrington Valentine. Really good positioning, moves his feet, doesn't hold, so a good job there. So that's what you have to have. If you're going to be successful, throwing these quick screens on the outside, you have to have those wide receivers that are going to get in there and battle for you.
Jaden Reed looking on, hoping that that defense can hold the Bears to a field goal after he coughed it up. 1st and goal. The handoff up the middle, and it's DeAndre Swift into the end zone for his first touchdown since week 11.
Yeah, really good job inside right here. The duo concept, right? You're going to double the down man, TJ Slayton, just push him back into that 2nd level, come off, get Eric Wilson, and that gives DeAndre Swift enough room to get into the end zone.
The Bears, who had been outscored in the first quarter in the last 5 games, led after 1, increased the lead to start the second, and Santos, with the extra point, makes it 14-3 Chicago. 14-17 to go in the first half, and the Bears lead on the Chicago with a 14-3 lead over Green Bay. The Packers hoping to win, hoping to see Washington lose. They're trailing 6-0 right now and get into that 6th seed. But as far as what Matt LaFleur wanted today, and we were talking about it earlier, and Laura mentioned it as well, they thought last week was sloppy. Wanted to play a clean, mistake-free game. This is not what he was looking for to start the day today.
No, you couldn't have a worse start. They've started off slow against the top tier, but against everybody else, they come out and they have a great start to the game. And this has been a disaster, especially when your head coach all week long has a single message of let's play a clean game. Let's go out and not beat ourselves, not give our opponents opportunities.
Here's Keyshawn Nixon, got a gaping hole, trying to bounce to the outside, and Nixon returns it to the 38-yard line. Now this was 1 wins to 15 wins in that span. But today a 14-3 lead for Chicago. Love off play action, wants a deep shot, checks it down, and it's caught in Chicago territory by Dontavian Wicks. And there's an injured Packer down at the 47-yard line. And it's Christian Watson. He suffered the knee injury against the Saints, was out last week, came back today, and now Watson is down at the Chicago 47. Christian Watson, who's got that brace on the left knee, grabbed his right knee in that non-contact injury. It's an encouraging sign, Daryl, to see him up and walking into the tent.
Absolutely. When you see non-contacts, a lot of times that's a cart scenario. They're usually very serious injuries. So great to see Christian Watson be able to kind of walk off with a little bit of help. And the crazy thing is, though, right, like you said, it's the opposite knee.
So on 1st down and 10, the Packers regroup from the Bear 47-yard line. Love to throw towards the sideline into all kinds of traffic, and he's fortunate that wasn't intercepted. There were 3 Bears with Johnson and Edmonds surrounding Tucker Kraft, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10, and down to Laura for more on Christian Watson.
Let me just say this too. You were saying that we saw him being helped as he walked off, but as we got closer to the blue tent, he went away from both people that were helping him and was able to walk by himself into it. I did ask Matt LaFleur before the game, is there a pitch count with Christian? And he said, no pitch count. He said, but we do just want to be careful with him and smart with him. So, you know, this is just so frustrating on so many levels, but I'll give you an injury report as soon as I get back.
All right, sounds good, Laura. Thanks so much. Here's Josh Jacobs breaking tackles, and Jacobs driving to the 35. What did Matt LaFleur tell us, Daryl? He's the heartbeat of our team, and you can see that that is a strong heartbeat.
Yeah, and I don't know why you just don't keep going back to it. Really nice job by Tucker Kraft as the lead guy up into the hole there with the key block.
Quick snap, Love is in trouble, tries to dump it off to Jacobs. Jacobs plucks it off the turf, and Jacobs making something out of nothing down to the 28-yard line. Austin Booker, the rookie from Kansas, all over Jordan Love, and it ends up a gain of 7. And Love's pointing at his right hand, shaking it off a little bit.
It's one of those situations where you try to tell a quarterback when that play is over, and there's the positive side. Jordan Love just continuing to work to try and save that play, is able to get it to Josh Jacobs, but let's watch that throwing hand.
There are flags down on the field too, well after the play, deep in the secondary, as Jordan Love gets his throwing hand tended to. These last 2 minutes have been as negative as they can be for the Green Bay offense, despite the fact that they're moving the football.
Well, I won't even say the last 2 minutes. I'll say the entire game.
12 men on the defense at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty at the previous spot. 2nd down.
You start the game and you're 3 and out, and then you have a high snap, Daniel Whelan saves the day with a great job on being able to get that ball off. And then you stop your opponent and you allow them on a punt return to get a touchdown. So really there's been nothing positive so far today. And then Christian Watson going down with an injury. Here comes, you know, your backup quarterback Malik Willis is coming into the lineup, and it looks like that injury to Jordan Love is on the throwing hand. I mean, nothing has gone right for Green Bay here this afternoon. And you come out with the expectations of playing a clean game, building your confidence to go into the playoffs, and it's been a complete 180 from that.
So now with a penalty of 12 men on the field, it's 1st and 5, and it's Jacobs up the middle of the first down. Another look at Jordan Love. It was to the throwing hand with all that pressure around him.
A lot of times when you see that type of injury, it's as the ball comes off the hand and hits the helmet, but you didn't see anything on that replay.
Quick sidearm toss out to the tight end and out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. There's a flag down on the near side at the 20-yard line.
Ineligible player downfield on a forward pass. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, first down.
There goes Christian Watson off to the locker room. It is not a sight that any Packer fan wants to see going into the playoffs next week. They're working on, appears to be the elbow now of Jordan Love. He was shaking out his hand, but maybe it's something that radiated down from the elbow, and maybe it's the helmet of Austin Booker.
Maybe at the, you know, when you hit the funny bone and it runs down your hand, maybe that's why he's trying to shake it, you know, kind of get that feeling off. But it was actually, you know, the contact he made with the elbow that hits that nerve that sends that pain down the hand.
Well, you hope it's something as simple as a funny bone that got irritated and can be taken care of. As Jordan Love watches Malik Willis work now on the field with a 2nd down and 15 for Green Bay, trailing 14-3 early 2nd quarter.
19 is hot. Watch him. Look at the outside.
Willis looking for Kraft, and he leaps up to make the catch. Tucker Kraft going up tall at the 9, and it's 1st and goal, Packers.
Just coming out of that traditional tight end spot. It's an out and up the seam. That's good coverage. That's a heck of a throw. And we watched Malik Willis grow through his 2 starts earlier this season when it was a heavy run offense the first game.
And Jacobs heavy on the ground, diving for the goal line and a touchdown. Oh, that kind of a heavy run offense.
And that's what you had to do, right? You're not going to be able to give Malik Willis a ton of the offense to get that first start after Jordan Love got hurt. So you lean on the run game. But then that next start, you can't do that again. So you expand what the game plan is going to be. And you introduce some play action and some other things. But, you know, you're watching the game last week, and it was one of the things that Tom Brady talked about. You know, Green Bay really refined and learned how to embrace that run game while Malik Willis was the starter, and it continued to grow. This is going to be interesting to watch here through the course of the game now.
Extra point, up and good. Josh Jacobs, his 8th straight game with that, his 8th straight game with a rushing touchdown, breaks a tie with Paul Hornung, his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. He's having a tremendous year for Green Bay. Tyler Scott, it'll trickle into the end zone for the touchdown. I may or may not have gone to the University of Nebraska. There's not a lot of basketball lore to celebrate for the Big Red.
You know, the big thing with the Lambeau leap there, I think for Simone Biles, I don't think it's the leap. I think it's the fact that Jonathan Owens completely missed the landing. He didn't stick the landing. That was the frustrating.
You're not getting a perfect 10 on that. About 10 points shy of a perfect 10. It's DeAndre Swift zigzags his way to the 26-yard line. Kalan Oladapo there with the tackle for Green Bay.
Well, you couldn't have orchestrated a better start for Chicago, and now that Green Bay has kind of gotten a little bit of that swagger back here, this is going to be an important series. You know, can they match the emotion here that this Packer defense has started the game with?
And not a bad start to go with DeAndre Swift on the ground for back-to-back carries, get a first down, calm things down a little bit. Coming into this drive, the Bears had 14 points and 15 total yards.
The big thing with DeAndre Swift is to me, he's been your most consistent player on the offense over the last 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, every time you turn on the film, you know, he's making plays in the run game, in the pass game, in the screen game.
There he is again. Swift sweeps to the edge with blockers. DeAndre Swift with another first down out near the 45-yard line. Larry Borum leading the way. A 14-yard run for DeAndre Swift moved the chains again.
He's just got such a great skill set to do so many different things, and you can see the heavy lineup there with everybody to the left side, and it creates really good blocking angles. And then if you can get DeAndre Swift onto that corner, and again, it's getting your wide receivers to buy in. You saw 15, Rome Odunze again with a nice block, one of the key guys at that point of attack to get DeAndre Swift around that corner.
First down and 10, just shy of the 45. Williams from the pistol, Swift once more, and Swift stood up at the 46-yard line. Valentine and Gary on the stop, and an update on Jordan Love and Christian Watson with Laura.
What a horrible drive. To give you updates on both of them. Christian Watson is questionable with a knee injury. Jordan Love is also questionable with that right elbow. They put a brace over his arm, and also he's been squeezing a ball just to kind of keep moving that hand. But the most interesting is Matt LaFleur coming over. You see he's sitting next to Malik, and Matt is just addressing Malik. So there's a good chance that will be the last we see of Jordan.
Terrible news if you're a Green Bay Packer fan or if you're an NFL fan wanting to watch the best in the game in the postseason. You hope for the best that Jordan Love, if he doesn't come back in this game, can at least make a return for next week when the postseason begins.
Absolutely, and that's the risk. You know, when you get into these situations, and there'll be a lot of second guessing, but you cannot go into the game playing with the thought that somebody could be injured. And unfortunately, injuries are a part of the game of football, but there's going to be a lot of chatter depending on what the status and how serious that injury is for Jordan Love.
Third down and 6. DJ Moore, and the Packers read that beautifully. Keyshawn Nixon all over that play. Not a chance for Moore.
Really good job. Just recognizing everything on the outside again, and it's just, you're going to come through, you're going to blow through that, you're going to try and blow everything up, but they're doing a really good job on the perimeter. That was a numbers situation. You wonder why there wasn't an alternative to that play, because I really felt the way that they came out with the pre-snap look, that play was going to have trouble being a positive snap for Chicago.
4th and 8, Taylor to punt. Jaden Reed back deep. And Reed will watch it sail over his head, skip into the end zone for the touchback. Most popular place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in front of the heaters on the sidelines. Take a number. Who's next? Serving number 8 in front of the heater.
It's a slippery slope, though, because once you get over there and you get warm, it's really hard to pry yourself away from that heater and get back onto the field. I tried to stay off the heated benches. Every once in a while, you just want to get a little bit of warmth, but you don't want to get comfortable.
Here's Emmanuel Wilson. Malik Willis is indeed in at quarterback again. If you're joining us late, Jordan Love is questionable to return per Laura with an elbow injury. Christian Watson also questionable to return with a knee injury. So Malik Willis may go the rest of the way in this one. We don't know. You see Jordan Love holding the football, squeezing out and flexing his right hand. Washington and Dallas. Remember, Green Bay win, Washington lose, and Green Bay is the number 6 seed, sending Washington to a date with the Eagles in Philadelphia. Toss play as Wilson reverses his field and finds a first down. It's a good run by Emmanuel Wilson, who's going to end up this season with above 450 yards of rushing.
Yeah, and you wonder right now, with what happened to Christian Watson, what's happened to Jordan Love, the other piece that's critical for the Packers moving forward is Josh Jacobs. And do you, in a run-heavy offense, probably now with Malik Willis in as your quarterback, go with Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks the rest of the way? And listen, you know what? I've got two guys that are keyed that are down already. I'm not losing my top three.
319 is that.
Back it goes to Wilson. Patient run to get maybe 2 out to the 33. Jonathan Ford with the tackle. Now for Josh Jacobs, who today 6 carries, 44 yards. You see 5th in the league in rushing yards, 6th in scrimmage yards, 2nd in rushing touchdowns. The offense just looks different when he's in there and working at the highest of efficiencies.
And if you want to get away from those slow starts against the top-tier teams, that's one of the biggest ways you're going to do it. Being able to lean on him at the start of the game and let that offensive line just come off the ball in the run game.
2nd and 8. Willis to the air, and he skipped that one in front of Malik Heath.
But Kevin, you and I, we had that transition from that first start against Indianapolis to that second start at Tennessee.
Yep.
And the growth that we saw and the confidence that Matt LaFleur had in Malik Willis was really impressive. He played a heck of a game against Tennessee because there's no way they were going to be able to lean on the run the way they did in that first start. So there's been growth from Malik Willis in this offense, you know, through the course of the season. I think you're very comfortable with him to finish this game.
3rd down and 8. Bears bring pressure. Willis, a wobbler into space, coming back to get it. It's Jaden Reed. Dexter provided the pressure on Willis. 31 yards later, a 1st down.
Yeah, just a really good job of keeping your eyes on the football. Jalen Johnson loses the football, and Jaden Reed does it. He's able to adjust to that hit on Malik Willis that caused it to be short.
And now the handoff to Chris Brooks. Will work his way forward.
Look at the late hands too. He's tracking, but he doesn't panic. He doesn't give Jalen Johnson any indication, and he's able to fight through and make that catch. That's a great adjustment to an underthrown ball down the field.
A lot like he has to do sometimes on a punt, tracking a wobbler off the foot of a punter.
Great point.
2nd and 5. Brooks again. Big hole. Brooks into the secondary and inside the 20 as the Packers get into the red zone with another run up the middle. Chris Brooks picks up 14.
Yeah, great job by Josh Myers. Watch your center. That's the key block here. Gets the turn right there. And then that's easy. I mean, Sean Ryan is able to climb right to that second level and get the linebacker because Josh Myers does such a great job on the down man.
On 1st and 10, Brooks once more. And not much this time. Bears shut that one down, but we open up an opportunity for Carissa Thompson. Chaos reigning in the NFC South.
How about Bryce Young? You know, getting benched early in the season, having to sit down, learn that lesson, getting a second opportunity this year, and really doing a nice job taking advantage.
Pitch to Jaden Reed and well defended by Kevin Byard. But to your point, Dave Canales has done a really nice job getting Bryce Young back in there. Sometimes that's hard to do. You bench a young quarterback to get him back on the right track. Kudos to that coaching staff for getting him on the right path again.
Absolutely. And I think the reason that Dave Canales has that job in Carolina is the job that he did with Baker Mayfield last year in Tampa Bay, who's probably got a lot of issues there with confidence and different things and able to get him turned around and pointed in the right direction.
3rd down and 9 for Green Bay. Willis slings it sidearm over the middle. It's short of the 1st down to the Bears' 12-yard line, and it'll bring up 4th down for Green Bay. They may wind down to the 2-minute warning before this 4th down play. Will the Packers go? Will they try the field goal? The offense stays on the field for the moment, but they don't have to do anything before the 2-minute warning. We have reached the aforementioned decision made during the timeout to put 3 on the board, or at least try to. And McManus is good once again. 14-13. The Packers creep within 1 with 1:57 remaining in the first half. So a 1-point game here at Lambeau Field. Let's check in. After that injury knocked him out of the game, he has not returned since. Left the game in the second quarter, earlier in this quarter, with the elbow injury. Now they're testing his grip, it looks like. How are you feeling? Can you squeeze?
Yeah, exactly. Because when it first happened, when he was on the ground, it all looked like it was his hand.
Right, the way he was shaking it out.
Yeah, and then they get to the sideline, and they've moved to the elbow, and you see the replay, and it's that arm coming forward and hitting the helmet on the elbow. I think it's going to be something that's nerve-related.
But hopefully not long-term, because every Packers fan right now across the state of Wisconsin and elsewhere is saying, can you squeeze the football next week? Can you play next week? Regardless of where Green Bay is playing, will they play with their quarterback, Jordan Love? Here's Tyler Scott on the run at the 10-yard line. Scott breaks 1 tackle across the 30. Scott across the 40, and he's out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Another return tackle by Eric Wilson.
And now Chicago at the 45-yard line goes to work with a draw play to DeAndre Swift and an ankle tackle by Lucas Van Ness after a 3-yard gain.
Not the clean type of game that Matt LaFleur was hoping for from his Green Bay Packers here in the first half. But, you know, the resiliency, the defense has done a nice job here today. They're going to have to be the group that's going to have to really stand up here the rest of the game.
2nd and 7, Caleb Williams. Flushed out, throws off the hand of DeAndre Swift. And it'll bring up 3rd and 7. Clock stops on the incompletion. There's Jordan Love, good sign. Out there testing that hand, testing that grip. Do we see Jordan Love for at least one more series to calm the seas of Packer Nation?
I think you got plenty of time. You can go in at halftime. You can sit down. You can have those conversations. The entire staff is busy managing the game here as it continues to wind down to the end of the first half. To me, I'd come back and you come out with Malik Willis again and just give him as much time as he needs.
Ooh, a zip throw by Caleb Williams fits it into Keenan Allen for a Chicago first down at the 44. And it's throws like that, Darryl, that have people excited about the potential of Caleb Williams.
The arm talent was never a question for Caleb Williams, and it's the other areas that he's going to attack, he's going to grow into in year 2. But there's been some throws this season that are absolutely remarkable for a rookie quarterback.
2nd down and 6. Out of bounds, stops the clock with 50 seconds to go. Bears have all 3 timeouts as they try to put points on the board before halftime. Remember, Green Bay won the toss, and as Matt LaFleur likes to do, they took the football. So it's going to be Chicago ball to start the second half. Three receivers to the bottom of your screen. And a flag with movement.
False start. Offense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Darnell Wright, the only projected offensive line starter that came out of camp as a starter, flinching on the right side.
Yeah, how about that? You go into training camp and you've got your starting 5, and you've only got your right tackle left at this stage at the end of the season, who was a part of that starting 5 going into training camp.
Braxton Jones on IR. Tevin Jenkins out again with a calf. Ryan Bates on IR, and Nate Davis was cut. 2nd and 11. Williams on the roll. And Williams, he'll just throw this one away. 42 seconds to play in this second quarter, and a 3rd and 11 for Chicago.
Sometimes for these young quarterbacks that have that unique arm talent, this is a hard lesson to learn. You can see he wants somebody to break clean, give me an opportunity to get the ball down the field, and then just throw it away. And I think it's that thought process that he needs to speed up, of knowing when that play's over, and the only thing that can happen from this point on is bad, and take that next step. It's one of the reasons why he has been sacked now 68 times this season, because a lot of those are on the shoulders of Caleb Williams.
And a timeout taken by Chicago.
A question about Caleb Williams. It's a lot of the other intangible things about playing the quarterback position at the NFL level.
3rd down and 11. Williams, pressure again, off his back foot, lobs it in the direction of Odunze, and it's out of bounds.
And I think that that's one of the big things, and we've seen it on the last 2 plays. And when you're successful in the quarterback position, as protections break down, smaller movements, can you climb? And not always going out the back. We've seen him make a number of great throws by going out the back and getting out onto the edges, but the really effective quarterbacks that are decisive have smaller movements inside the pocket, find the ability to climb, and leave the entire field open.
Torrey Taylor on to punt as the Bears drive stalls. Pressure up the middle, just got rid of it. Tyron Hopper in his face. Fair caught at the 10 by Jaden Reed.
Important for Matt LaFleur, challenging his group to have a clean game today. And as we pointed out, it's been anything but. Had some bad news with the injuries. But the margins when you get into the playoffs are so thin. The smallest mistakes get magnified. And they've just had too many here this afternoon against the Bears.
And the pitch to Chris Brooks, stacked up at the 15-yard line. Clock will continue to run, and the Packers may be content to just get this one to the locker room and, more importantly, get in and warm up. Everything in this final week of the regular season. A 1-point game here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. On the sidelines, it's going to take a little more to warm up than usual today because it's really cold. But Jordan Love warming up on the sidelines. He'll have a little extra time to do that. Remember, Packers won the toss and they took the football. So in the second half, it will be the Chicago Bears who start with the ball. And here comes Caleb Williams back to work. His first time at Lambeau, the coldest game he's ever played in. Week 16 against Detroit, it was 29 degrees. That was his previous coldest start. His coldest college start was 51 degrees when he played for Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. You know, when you spend most of your career at USC, you don't get a lot of cold weather games. At least then. Now they're in the Big Ten, you might get a few more. First down toss to DeAndre Swift. Trying to find some running room, and gets a few as we go downstairs to Laura Oakman.
I talked to Thomas Brown, who wanted no compliments when it came to his team playing with the lead right now. He said defensively we are balling, but offensive-wise, he said we need to do a better job communicating quarterback-wise, in and out of the huddle, making the right calls. We have the lead, which is good, but we're not playing really well, but was on his quarterback about that.
Well, he's been aggressive with his quarterback from a coaching standpoint since he moved into that offensive coordinator role and now as the head coach.
And I think Caleb Williams appreciates that. How many times has he talked about we have to hold everybody accountable? He wants to be coached hard at that position. And Thomas Brown has done that for him. That's one of the big things. If you want more time at the line of scrimmage, get there.
On 3rd and 4. Quick snap, Williams to the air, and he finds Keenan Allen for a Chicago first down.
Working from the outside, just a little out and up again. We've seen this route a number of times. And again, there's another nice throw. Edgerrin Cooper is underneath Keyshawn Nixon over the top. Even a little bit of, is it a little bit of back shoulder there too? Maybe? No, just a nice little spot into that window.
Well, we asked Thomas Brown what he would tell Caleb, and he said, my conversation's ongoing with Caleb Williams. He said the understanding of who he is, who his identity is, he said, I want him to master that first. Off the play action. Williams buying some time. Nobody open downfield, and Williams will just throw this one away as he gets near the sideline. But he said he wants him to go disappear and go put the work in and show up as a different person when it's time next year. He said that's going to be the thing that sets the stage for greatness.
Yeah, how much have you done when you come back to the facility in Chicago and start to get ready for season 2? And where are you at that point? Again, like you said, the work that you did is not just about understanding us. It's talking to other people, watching film on other quarterbacks and see how they're doing some things.
2nd down and 10. Big hole and a good coverage tackle. Getting that hole closed to make the stop was Edgerrin Cooper.
Yeah, I tell you, this guy is extremely dynamic. Watch him right here. He's going to move left, and then he's going to have to bounce all the way back to make this play. It's just a great job with his eyes right there. Now, everybody knows that he can make those splash plays. The one thing he has to eliminate is some of the missed assignments and being out of position, because that ball always finds its way to the person who has missed their assignment, because it leaves a gap in that defense.
On 3rd and 8, pressure comes. Williams breaks free. Williams breaks a second tackle and a third before he's finally tripped up by Oladapo. Goodness, Caleb Williams working, and now Williams a little slow to get up. He's been sacked 68 times this year. He's been hit many more times.
Yeah, but just a little bit of awareness, right? Because here comes right off the slot, untouched, right to the quarterback. And you've got to know that Aaron Mosby is not picked up in that alignment, and that he has the ability to come free to the rusher. And it's one of the reasons why I think he's losing trust. He has more unblocked rushers coming at him during the course of the year than any other quarterback.
On 4th and 5, Bears go, and Williams finds Roschon Johnson for the first down. I want to see a little arm strength. Caleb Williams showed it on this throw.
But let's go back to that last play too, right? We talked about pace, getting to the huddle, getting up to the line of scrimmage with time. That took a long time. You know, he's dinged up a little bit. He's slow getting back. It's a 4th down, and yet he still finds a way to make that conversion. And you can see from that angle right there, just the ability and that arm strength, feet off the ground, square shoulders to the target.
And the Bears keep the drive alive from the Packer 40-yard line. It's Moore, flips to Allen. He wants to throw. Keenan Allen to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. His 8th pick of the year, and then he drops the football, and it's covered up by Green Bay. The 30th takeaway of the season for the Packers, their most since 2011, and for McKinney, his first pick in the now 6-game span since he had his 7th. Xavier McKinney now one behind Kirby Joseph for the NFL lead in interceptions with his 8th pick of the season. And to work goes Malik Willis and the Packer offense. Down by 1, the handoff up the middle to Emmanuel Wilson, and Wilson to the 47-yard line. Back to the interception, first ever thrown by Keenan Allen.
It's one of the things that happens when you have guys that haven't played the position, right? So we're going to try to get it to Rome Odunze down the field. He's going to be covered, and so Keenan Allen's going to pull it down. Now, why he decides to throw it up the sideline when you've got 3 guys tiered over that way, I don't know. And that's one of the fears of coming up with a gadget play like that, because a lot of times those guys are excited about that play and they're going to try to execute it regardless of what coverage shows.
And on 2nd down and 7, it's Emmanuel Wilson with the first down. He picks up 10. Jalen Johnson tried that punch again. He was successful in the first half, and Johnson tried to poke it out, and Wilson wouldn't let him this time. On 1st and 10, Wilson again, and Wilson. See Byard trying to rip the ball out of his hands as he's stacked up at the 40-yard line. Laura Oakman, you had a chance to catch up with Matt LaFleur. What do you have to say?
Well, Christian Watson is out. Jordan Love, we saw, is back out here. Matt said that elbow is feeling better. I did ask him, are we going to see him? He said, we'll see. I asked what would determine why you'd put him back in. He said, my gut. But I did say, considering the injuries, I asked him if anything changes in the second half. Josh Jacobs, starters, he said nothing changes. It's football. We are playing to win the game. Nothing changes.
Well, they're getting some good play out of Emmanuel Wilson up the middle for another 8 and another first down.
Yeah, again, we're getting that duo right here and here, on the down block, and then Sean Ryan does a great job of peeling off the down block, the double team, and coming off to the second level on the linebacker. So getting a lot of movement there on that front. It's been successful. That was the Josh Jacobs touchdown run as well.
Bears by 1, but the Packers driving. Willis wants to throw. He's blasted by Byard. The ball is out, and it's scooped up by Chicago. TJ Edwards with the recovery as Kevin Byard dislodges the football from Malik Willis.
Yeah, this is strange because he's going to come from the right side. The tight end pushes him. Now, that shows me that there should have been a running back there. There should have been something, or was the tight end wrong in that protection? But you cannot let Kevin Byard go unblocked right to your quarterback.
Mania runs wild on you. 14-13 lead for the Bears. Packer Mania not feeling very wild right now. Kevin Byard with a sack that jarred the ball loose from Malik Willis, and now the Bears take over at the 46-yard line. And on first down, DeAndre Swift just across midfield into Green Bay territory. Back to the sack.
Yeah, it starts with the tight end right here, right? And watch his blocking style. This is like, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of a chip there. So that means that there should be somebody else there to pick that up. And so there's definitely a breakdown in protection here. And you could tell by Malik Willis, I should be fine. I saw Kevin Byard at the line of scrimmage, but I should be fine. My protection accounts for him.
On 2nd and 5, it's Swift down to the 46, 2 yards short of the first down. Well, after the play, you don't see this very often, props in a football game. The finish card is brought out. The message for the Bears is to finish and finish strong. Seen a couple of those floating around on that Bears defense today. 3rd and 2 and a designed run for Williams. He'll make a beeline to the sideline with a first down for Chicago.
That's a very good decision with Xavier McKinney and Edgerrin Cooper. Very close by. Had a chance to talk to Kerry Joseph before the game, the quarterback coach for Chicago, and just about Caleb's development and just how it is compartmentalizing everything, learning small buckets, week after week after week, instead of trying to throw everything at him. And I think that's an example, being smart here with your body when you have an opportunity to run.
And the handoff is to DeAndre Swift again. There's a flag down behind the play. Swift with a good run near the 35-yard line. We'll see if this one's backing up.
Holding. Offense number 84. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Mercedes Lewis with the hold. Carissa Toys battling in that one, but Washington with Mariota gives them the lead. Of course, if Washington wins, Washington locks up that 6th seed, and the Packers will punch their ticket to Philadelphia as the 7th seed. Here's Swift on 1st and 20. Rashawn Gary with the tackle after a couple. And it'll bring up 2nd down and long. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff today. A 94-yard punt return. We saw a challenge had to be used earlier in the first half by Green Bay. No expedited review, so they had to throw the challenge flag to get a play overturned. We've seen fumbles. We've seen interceptions thrown by wide receivers. We've seen a little bit of everything today. Second down and 18. Williams. That bounces off the helmet. It looked like of Edgerrin Cooper and ends up in the hands of DJ Moore. What were we saying? We've seen a little bit of everything today.
Haven't seen that one yet.
2-yard gain on the play. DJ Moore's looking at it going, where did that bounce from?
This is crazy. And again, it shows you the athleticism of Edgerrin Cooper being out there in space, you know, with a lot of field, but great concentration by DJ Moore just to be able to react and secure that football and get something positive out of it.
3rd and 16. Williams over the middle. Roschon Johnson down inside the 45, well short of the first down, back near the original line of scrimmage at the 43, and it'll bring up 4th down. And on comes Torrey Taylor and the Bears punt team, coming up on 4.5 to play 3rd quarter.
So Green Bay is elected to go punt safe, which on this side of the field sometimes you do, but it's a 4th and 10. Now with the Bears, punt protection unit has to understand is there's some defensive linemen and some pass rushers across from you. This is not your traditional punt rush team.
Taylor, Reed waving for the fair catch at the 16, and that's where we will see the Packers offense losing 14-13. They take over 1st down and 10, and a toss play to Chris Brooks from quarterback Malik Willis, and Brooks out to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 8 before Jalen Johnson can make the tackle. You see the score up in the left. Carissa told us earlier about that touchdown that gave Washington the 10-9 lead. Dallas with a 3rd and 13 coming up, down by 1. Scoreboard watching. One of the best times of the year for that. 2nd and 2. Brooks trying to find room up the middle. Pushes the pile just a little bit. Did he get enough for the 1st down? It'll depend on the spot. He needed the 26-yard line, and it looks like it's a 1st down.
Some interesting thing with each of those opponents, though, in the playoffs, right? You know, everybody obviously looking at Philadelphia as the number 2 seed. Oh boy, we don't want to go to Philly, but Jalen Hurts hasn't played in a couple weeks. How healthy is he? You know, maybe we want to go to the Rams. Really? I mean, Matthew Stafford's been on fire the last few games, and I mean, 9 out of 11, I think they've won down the stretch.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield, I mean, 5 touchdowns last week. Looks like he struggled a little bit this week, but you know, who knows what happens when you play Tampa Bay. So Green Bay's it's gonna be a challenge for them, whoever they get.
19 is that?
Willis tossed to Malik Heath, and Heath up the sidelines and out of bounds at the 33-yard line. The bigger question is going to be, Daryl, who's healthy for Green Bay next week? Christian Watson and Jordan Love both go down on the same drive. Watson will not return to this game. Jordan Love is back on the sidelines. Doesn't look like he's coming back in. We may have seen the end of Josh Jacobs. He's healthy, but boy, the biggest question for Matt LaFleur all week is going to be, is Christian Watson available? Is Jordan Love available? On 2nd and 4, handoff to Chris Brooks, and Brooks into the secondary, upended by Jonathan Owens as he gets to the Bears' 44-yard line. A pickup of 23 for Chris Brooks.
Yeah, a really good job. You're going to get the pin and pull, and then a really nice job coming to inside. Again, it's Tucker Kraft. That's the harder block, is the one that comes up through the hole and gets the kick out. So we see duo concepts for some big plays by Green Bay when you get that double team and you climb to that 2nd level. Those are the ones that I love. I love the old school gap scheme blocking that we saw on that last play.
Chris Brooks now 7 carries, 56 yards this afternoon. Here's Willis. It's Wilson with the grab. Nowhere to go. Kyler Gordon all over him as we go back to Los Angeles. Carissa Thompson and Atlanta unable to take advantage, at least to this point, of Tampa Bay losing to New Orleans. Jalen Johnson, after that tackle, still down on the turf. The sole Bears Pro Bowl selection this season being tended to by the athletic training staff as we step aside from Green Bay. Jalen Johnson walking off to the sidelines. They'll tend to him on the Chicago sideline. Now 2nd down and 12. for Green Bay. Tucker Kraft in motion. And Willis to the 40-yard line. Ontavian Wicks with the catch. It'll bring up third down. Back to the injury.
Jalen Johnson. We had the non-contact injury to Christian Watson, and we've got another one with Jalen Johnson. There you can see him just kind of go back and plant, and then as he transitions out, kind of pulls up a little bit and then reaches down for that knee.
And he will head to the locker room. Final seconds of this third quarter.
And here's Terrell Smith, who's come in for him on that outside corner. So did they go after him? They didn't on that last snap. They went to the opposite side of the field.
On third down, it'll be Brooks who gets the carry. And Brooks fighting his way to the 37-yard line. Brandon McManus, his career long is 61. That was with Denver. His long with Green Bay is 55. They'll line up on fourth down. They don't have to snap it. Can they coax the Bears to move? They don't get anywhere close to set. And our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Kevin Kugler.
The tundra in your toes.
Yes, very frozen. Fourth down and 3. Packers offense stays on the field. And they're trying to get some movement against a Bears team. No, they're going to snap it. They give it to Reed, trying to get to the edge, and the Bears are ready. The Chicago Bears defense is up to the challenge. Terrell Smith leading the charge for Chicago, and the Packers turn it over on downs.
There's just no chance for Jaden Reed on this play. I mean, the great job starts off with Kyler Gordon right here. He's going to be the one that forces it, but then you've got multiple players coming in. And there's no way you're going to capture that edge. Something was not right there.
First down and 10 as Caleb Williams back to work. And on first down, toss play, well defended. Keyshawn Nixon into the backfield, and it'll bring up second down and long.
Yeah, it's so hard because when you're out in formation, you're going to be right here, DJ Moore, and you have to stay still, and Keyshawn Nixon moves inside, and you're just like, all right, DeAndre, I hope you saw that because I am no help for you right now.
Second and 13. Clock winding down. Williams gets the snap with 1 on the play clock. Zips it out. Catch is made at the 42-yard line. Cole Kmet cannot break free after the catch. But for Caleb Williams, again, we talked about it. It's not the arm strength. It's not the physical tools. There's just going to be growth that has to happen in other areas going into his second year.
Absolutely. And in small steps. And it's going to be a process. And I know that word gets thrown around a lot. But you know, one of the other things that quarterbacks coach Kerry Joseph talked to him about was, hey, I'm going to talk to you guys about a guy who was 1-15 his rookie year and a guy that was 3-13 his rookie year. They're both Hall of Famers. Troy Aikman was part of a 1-15 season, but he was 0-11 that year. And Peyton Manning is the 3-13. So, you know, it's not what you do your rookie year. It's how you start to grow and mature as a player.
And a timeout is used by Caleb Williams at play clock. One part of that maturity that you're talking about with Caleb Williams is knowing when to use that timeout before a critical play.
Yeah. Well, we all saw it at Thanksgiving, and you know that hopefully that lesson has been seared into your brain.
Third down and 6. Williams, pressure comes, gets away, throws, complete to DJ Moore, right at the sticks. Did he get the first down with progress? He did. That's an outstanding play by Caleb Williams to get rid of that football and move the chains.
The great thing is he knows where the threat is, right? And there's the guy that everybody's talking about here in Green Bay. Very talented, athletic, and he makes a miss with a free run. And then the composure to reset, find your receiver, and give him a catchable ball. those are the types of throws that we showed you earlier. Those are the ones you see a couple of times a week, every week.
Sean Johnson works his way up the middle. Good power after the run and down to the 44. Let's go back to that 4th down conversion.
Just watch. He's got his eyes right there, but he's calm. He's not panicked. He spins out, and then the ability to find the receiver, comes into his line of vision. There's DJ Moore right there. And the placement of the football. And again, Kevin, you've talked about it. You know, we see time and time again, you know, how he throws that football. But it's all those other intangibles that add up to that top flight quarterback play in this league.
So he converts on 3rd down. It's 7 on 1st down, and now trouble for DeAndre Swift, and it's Cooper again leading the charge for the Green Bay Packers. And that maturity factor, Laura Oakman, is something, that's the next step for Caleb Williams.
Thomas Brown talked a lot about it, owning the moment for a young guy. Good play, good practice, bad practice. Learn from it, you got to move on. He said Caleb's still hard on himself, and one play turns into 2 drives in a row, negative plays, because he didn't get over the one play. How Thomas is to help him keeping his emotions regulated. Said, when I talk to him, I stay calm and monotone because he's emotional.
See where he is on 3rd and 5 with 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Packers rush 5. Williams throws, finds Moore, another 1st down. Back-to-back 3rd down hookups for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore.
Yeah, and this is a great example. You know, we sit there and talk about how good he is with the arm strength, and this one's a little bit behind, but, you know, you got some good players out there around you. You know, let them use their talents to help you in the situations.
That 5th catch of the day sets a new career high for DJ Moore. 94 catches on the season. On 1st and 10. Swift again. And down he goes near the 32-yard line. Well, let's talk about Caleb Williams amongst #1 draft picks.
The interception ratio, the biggest one there, and he's the best at it. And that is one of the ones that's difficult when you get up here because of the talent level and how the windows shrink at the NFL level compared to the collegiate level.
2nd and 6, back to Moore. Blockers in front. DJ Moore weaving up the sideline. Moore inside the 10. Steps through contact. He's in for a Chicago touchdown. 32 yards for DJ Moore, and the Chicago Bears add to their lead, now 20-13.
This is blocked really well. The offensive line does a tremendous job getting outside to get these blocks. And let's not forget about Rome Odunze again as well. And then Javon Bullard, just a poor angle, you know, coming up. That allows DJ Moore to get down that sideline and get the touchdown. But a really well-designed play, but the execution of it. And to watch Rome Odunze here today, you know, just at the start of the game, he was not great on the outside, and he's been really, really good since early in the 1st quarter.
So they're going to go for 2 to try to go up 2 scores. 3 for 10 this year in the 2-point conversion department. Swift, back it goes to Allen. Looked like he wanted to throw it again. Now he's going to run, and he's stymied at the 5. There is a flag down, and it may be on Green Bay. There may be a second chance for Chicago here. Matt LaFleur wanted a clean,
Holding.
mistake-free game.
Defense number 24 will enforce the penalty half the distance. Replay the try.
He hasn't gotten it today.
Yeah, there's 24 all the way to the top of the screen. But right there in the middle is where we think the hold happened.
So now they've Looks like now they've opted to line up for the extra point instead of going for 2. So after the penalty, which would have shortened the distance, now they're going to line up and try the extra point.
I'm confused right now. I mean, you got a second chance from the 1, and we're going to take the 5 yards and kick it. We can't make it from the 23.
And the kick is good by Cairo Santos.
Confusing.
So instead of going for the 2 and
A short pass to DJ Moore, blocked very, very well by Chicago. But there was a couple of plays on that drive where it's understanding that, hey, that's my first read, and it's only a 3-yard pass, but it's DJ Moore, it's Keenan Allen, it's Roma Dunze. They might turn it into something bigger.
Nixon trying to find some room to roam, and he's stopped short of the 20-yard line. Join Fox in supporting the victims and families impacted. So now the Packers, who with a loss are the 7 seed and headed to Philadelphia. By the way, Dallas is leading Washington, but the Commanders have a 1st and goal to try to regain the lead in that one. A 21-13 lead for Chicago here under 10 to play. And on 1st down, Malik Willis in for the injured Jordan Love, throws to Jaden Reed, who's got a diving catch at the 34 for a Green Bay 1st down. Pickup of 17 on the toss from Willis. Hustle up to the line on 1st down at the 34. Handoff, Wilson bouncing to the outside. Dropped by Tyreek Stevenson at the 39-yard line on an injury update with Laura.
Well, also right now the Bears don't have Jalen Johnson, and he is doubtful for the rest of the game with a quad injury. And Laura, do we know he's been the one bright spot for the Chicago team, the lone Pro Bowl representative from this team this year?
They'll miss him for the rest of this game if he's doubtful to return. Willis in some trouble, buying time, looking for running room, looking for a block. Malik Willis just tucks it, and he's buried at the 34. Had the chance to throw that one away, but Chris Williams and TJ Edwards combined to drop him at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and so this is a hard habit to break, right? When you are a quarterback that has the ability to evade people, I mean, Malik Willis is not a rookie like Caleb Williams. Just throw it out of bounds right now. I mean, don't try to make something out of nothing at that spot, because it's so simple to get back to that original line of scrimmage and have a better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Third and 10. Bears rush 4. Willis to Kraft. Kraft trying to get to the edge. Good open field tackle by Kyler Gordon.
He's a good football player. I mean, Kyler Gordon, down in the box on blitzes, setting edges. He's in the slot. He's going to work on coverage with Jaden Reed. And watch him come up. It's just a really good job of finishing that play. We have seen how physical Tucker Kraft is with the football after the catch. That's a really nice job by Kyler Gordon.
Daniel Whelan on to punt. That Bears defense keeps the Packers from getting anything going. Whelan will punt it away with 7:40 to play. Wow. Blackwell watches this one hit at 2 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Timeout in Green Bay on Fox.
Very intrigued by that show, Kevin. I'm very intrigued.
Well, for the Bears, the intrigue is, can they break these active losing streaks? 10 straight losses this season, tied for the longest single season in franchise history. 11 straight losses in this rivalry, this being the 210th meeting between the Bears and Packers. And on 1st down, Swift trying to get to the outside and not much there. TJ Slayton. Well, and Bears with the 21-13 lead. It's Virginia McCaskey's birthday today. 102 years
young
of watching Bears football, and the Chicago Bears trying to give her a terrific birthday present today. Happy birthday, Miss McCaskey.
Happy birthday.
Second down and 10. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore, deflected it, and fortunately for Chicago, Keyshawn Nixon couldn't twist his way over to get the pick. Carissa Thompson has had nothing but update after update because lots is going on, and she's got another one now. All right, Carissa, thanks. And oh, by the way, Dallas is in the red zone in that game, down by 4. Again, that game matters here because if the Commanders win, they're the 6th seed, the Packers are the 7th seed. But the Packers have to rally to make that a thing. And we've got a whistle and we've got a timeout. Play clock was winding down before 3rd and 10, timeout.
Timeout, Chicago, 30 seconds.
6:49 to go in the 4th, and a 3rd and 10 coming up for Thomas Brown and the Chicago Bears.
I think that's been one of the big topics as well when we talk about Caleb Williams. And a young guy coming into the NFL, right? There's so much that comes in when you're sending that plane and then getting it into the huddle, the time and making sure that everything's done correctly. To be able to have more time, the beginning of the season, when the Bears were getting to the line of scrimmage, there wasn't a whole lot of time left. We've seen a couple of situations here today as well. That's definitely one that they've got to get cleaned up. And again, there's a lot on Caleb's plate for that one too, making sure that everybody is moving at that pace. They're going to follow his pace.
3rd and 10. Williams checks it short, nowhere to go. Carl Brooks, with Roshan Johnson making the catch, was right there to tackle him on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and long, and the Bears will punt it away.
Yeah.
6:30 to go.
I didn't like this series. I didn't like the last 2 play calls. You're going to the well a little bit too often with DJ Moore on that quick screen. Now coming out here, trying to run another screen. It's 2nd and 10. It's 3rd and 10. And I think that Caleb Williams has earned the right in that situation to be able to be a little bit more aggressive down the field. We've talked about his ability to make throws. I think they should have given him an opportunity to show that.
So 4th and 15 after the 7th tackle for loss by the Packers today. And a short punt takes a little bit of a Packer hop, and it'll be down near midfield. And that's where Green Bay will go to work.
Synonymous this season. I mean, that team has been unbelievable. The losses that they've had and the point total that they've put on the board.
5:58 to go. Willis to the air on 1st down, and it's batted away. Terrell Smith in front of Dontavian Wicks with the diving spike, and it's 2nd and 10.
And how about that? We showed you Terrell Smith coming in for Jalen Johnson, and this is really well played. Don't get too far back in your back pedal. Good transition from the back pedal to the break and able to make a play on the football.
5:53 remaining. Packers need to put a march together here to have a shot still at that 6th seed. Malik Willis. Pressure comes. Willis with room to run. Flag is down behind the play, and Willis is down at the 40-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Back we
The Dallas Cowboys.
Don't spoil the game break. 5:25 and counting to go in the 4th. After the penalty, Packers with work to do. Willis in trouble. Willis gets away from one, can't get away from the 2nd. Byron Cowart the first to get there and get the sack.
Wow, Chicago is very lucky. Watch how many times they have an opportunity to get Malik Willis on the ground, and they can't. And if this guy can escape and get the ball, I mean, opportunity after opportunity, and you got to be careful about that.
Now 3rd down and 21. Willis, late pressure comes down the sideline, jump ball, and it's caught. Malik Heath with the grab. Tyreek Stevenson with the tackle. Well, what a play by Malik Heath.
Yeah, you can't get behind the receiver in that position, and Tyreek Stevenson, he tracked the ball well. I don't know why he went around the backside of Malik Heath and afforded him the opportunity to make the first attempt at the catch.
41 yards later, and now Emmanuel Wilson bouncing to the edge, and a Packer touchdown! And remember, when the Bears scored their touchdown, they went for 2. There was a penalty when they failed. They settled for 1. And that's giving Green Bay the chance to tie it with a 2-point try here. Packers are 3 for 5 this year on 2-point conversions. Malik Willis will light him up for 2. Willis looking, and that ball slipped out of his hand. Trying to go over the middle with Jaden Reed there, and Willis just had that one fall out of his hand, incomplete. Well, let's go back to the touchdown sequence. First, the long Heath catch.
Yeah, and here's Tyreek Stevenson right here, and just he plays it really well. You know, it's a double move. He doesn't get fooled by it, but why come in from behind? Why not get in front or at least challenge? And that's a great job because there's contact as he's making the throw. That's why it's a little bit underthrown. Where is the run, Phil? I mean, you got all the guys coming inside. Who had the edge? You talk about being able to set edges, and that was not something that was done there. And Jaden Reed is about to come open. TJ Edwards is the one who caused that ball to be incomplete because he flashed right in front of Malik Willis, and now Malik Willis, he may have done something to his thumb on that last play.
I think Malik Willis hurt his hand when Taylor hit him as he threw the ball. You see him pointing at his hand on the long throw. You see him pointing at his hand after that errant throw on the 2-point try. Watch again and watch his reaction after Taylor hits him here. He grabs that right hand immediately with his left hand.
Good eye, Kev.
Tyler Scott up the middle with a return to the 34-yard line, and the Bears up 2 with 4:22 to go. Go back to the 2-point try again.
Yeah, and I think this is TJ Edwards right here, and I think that he's going to be the one that forces this ball to come down. There's Jaden Reed right there. He's going to come into that slot right there. There goes 53 sliding, so he's got to pull it down.
And you see afterwards, holding that hand the same way he held it after Taylor got to him on the long throw to Heath. And then the training staff on the sidelines looking at him, but now Jordan Love starts to warm up again. Toss play on first down. And DeAndre Swift gains 2 to the 35. Mosby and McDuffie combined on the stop. So with Willis now dinged up, Jordan Love trying to shake out his hand from the elbow injury. Willis, he's going to work again. Athletic training staff much busier than they wanted to be on that Green Bay sideline in Week 18. Williams, Moore, and DJ Moore out at the 40. 3:33 to play in the fourth. Third down coming up for Chicago.
Just very conservative with the play calling and the trust downfield. And you go back and you watch game film sometimes, and you'll see Caleb Williams get into these streaks where he's throwing the ball well downfield. I think he's had that at times here today, but they haven't allowed him to continue to follow up. We've got more with the quick options out on the edge in the screen game.
Third and 3. Williams, clean pocket, fits it into DJ Moore, and a first down at the 45.
Eric Williams is still trying to figure out, or Eric Wilson is still trying to figure out how he got it through there. I mean, he's right on the nose, drops out. He's going to undercut this. You talk about ball placement. I don't know if there's anywhere else that ball can be and be completed to DJ Moore.
And how about DJ Moore able to hang on to it through Eric Wilson draped all over him? Gerald Everett motioning into the backfield. The lead blocker for Swift, who cuts it back, and Swift gets it across midfield as we go downstairs and check in with Laura.
I want to make sure before this game ends, we talk a little bit about how Caleb's going into the offseason. We all know he has an inspiration, which is Kobe Bryant. He's been talking about how Kobe ended his rookie season, hoisting up multiple air balls in a playoff loss. Caleb equated those air balls to his own missed opportunities. He said last week, my feet were terrible. I threw a terrible ball to Rome. Airballed opportunities. He said, this year has been infuriating. I didn't do enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't prepared enough. I can't wait to bleeping get to the offseason.
He did not say bleeping, however. Hand off to Swift, and Swift with a first down inside the Packer 45 to the 43. Gain of 6 as we reach the 2-minute warning at Lambeau Field. Pretty good finish brewing between these two rivals. The 210th meeting and a 2-point game with 2 minutes to play on Fox. Jumping around in Lambeau Field for the final time this season. A 21-19 lead for the Chicago Bears with Daryl Johnston, Laura Oakman, our entire Fox crew. I'm Kevin Kugler. First down and 10 at the 43-yard line for Chicago. Packers have all 3 timeouts. They'll start using them here. And a toss play to Swift. Swift will turn upfield. A flag down behind the play. Swift with a 4-yard gain. But this one may be backing up with a hold. Looked like Gerald Everett was in the area where the flag was thrown.
Holding. Offense number 14. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And it is Gerald Everett called for the hold.
Yeah, you're going to see him coming out of that fullback spot, and you know, you make the contact and then you grab. No reason to grab. You got him out of the way. And I'll even defend, because he was in the fullback position, I will defend that tight end. That wasn't a lot. In that situation, I don't know if I would have. But I mean, like every Bears fan is watching this going, oh my gosh, how are we going to mess this up?
Now they've got to overcome 1st and 20. It's DJ Moore with a catch. He fumbles the football, and it's recovered by Green Bay. The answer to Daryl Johnston's question is a fumble, and the Packers take it over with 1:49 to go.
I didn't mean for it to happen, actually. Just the way this season has gone for him. I mean, so many games lost on the final play.
Catch, followed by a fumble, recovered by Green Bay. First down.
Carrington Valentine just jarred it out with his helmet and then scooped it up. Picked up by Bullard, and the Packers take it over with the turnover at the 43-yard line.
You're trying to do something safe and conservative, those little quick throws that they've been doing the whole second half here. And at the critical time, they can't execute it and keep the ball secure.
And Willis with the play fake, he jumps the pass to Malik Heath, who makes the catch on the low throw for a pickup of about 5, maybe 6. They're right on the edge of Brandon McManus's field goal range. 2nd down and 4. The handoff is to Wilson, and Wilson is down to the 35 of Chicago. Brings up 3rd and 2. 1:20 and counting to go in this one. And McManus trying to loosen things up and get ready for a potential game winner. 3rd and 2. Wilson again, and Wilson will lose yardage. Tremaine Edmonds was the first one there. DeMarcus Walker helped finish him off. And now 4th down and a timeout. Rich Bisaccia and Matt LaFleur talking about, can we run McManus out there for a field goal try?
Well, right before this series started, Eric Washington, the defensive coordinator for the Bears, got his group together. Green Bay's down and they're celebrating down in the back of the end zone, and he brings his guys together. And what a job they have done in this series with the game on the line. And that first play, an aggressive play call by Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, to have that pass by Malik Willis to get them into an opportunity to make that.
And here comes Brandon McManus. His career long of 61 came in 2021 with the Broncos. 17 of 18 this year with Green Bay. His long is 55. This will be 55 yards right in the middle of the field.
I mean, the flags at the top of the goalpost are straight down. It doesn't appear to be. The flags at the top are blowing.
Good snap and hold. The kick by McManus on the way. It's low, but it's good. A line drive boot from Brandon McManus to give the Packers a 22-21 lead.
Boy, how prophetic are you talking to Matt LaFleur about the difference that Brandon McManus has made for this team in how he calls plays and how he manages that critical field zone when you get to the top of that field goal distance.
Well, we had this conversation before the game. And Brandon McManus, since he's gotten here, mentioned it earlier, has missed one kick. And I said, what does that do as a play caller for you? And he said, well, it's when you're on the fringe line, which is where they were. He said, can I be aggressive? Or do we just need 5 yards to get it inside that 50-yard mark? He said, the kicker can always have an impact on decision-making when you go for it. We were more aggressive in the fringe area last year. This year, we can be a little more selective. You saw the conversation between LaFleur and Bisaccia. Is this close enough? Can we try it? They did, and they hit it. The difference in a great kicker, Sean McVay said it at the end of last season. One of the things that really hampered him as a play caller with the Rams was the fact that they had such inconsistent kicking. That's why they went out and drafted a kicker. Well, with Brandon McManus, and since he got here in mid-October, it's completely changed the Packers' confidence in their kicking game. Remember, they struggled really for the better part of 3 years. As Tyler Scott gives it back to Blackwell, and Blackwell slips and is down at the 20-yard line. 48 seconds to play, 1 timeout remaining for Chicago as they try to scramble to break their losing streak. And there's the field goal percentage from 2021 through week 6. Last in the NFL at 79%. Since week 7, 94%. And 3 for 3 today. And Matt LaFleur with some words for Brandon McManus, who has changed a lot since he got here.
As ugly as today has been for Green Bay, he has saved the day.
And now it's up to Caleb Williams and the Bears as they try to rally late. Williams flushed, and Williams is yanked down, and that's a flag. Kingsley Enagbare on the edge. And Caleb Williams yanked to the turf, and this will cost yardage.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Defense number 55. 15 yards penalty at the previous spot. First down.
Easy call. You're up inside the jersey on the nameplate. And now be ready. There you go. Get up to that line of scrimmage. Be ready to go.
First down and 10 at the 35 after the penalty. Williams chased again. Flush to the right. Throws to the sideline. Odunze, does he make the catch? Yes, he does. Had the feet in at midfield. His second catch of the day, this one for 15 yards.
And we have seen this throughout the season. They have found ways to lose games, but Caleb Williams in these end-of-game drives has given them an opportunity.
Williams steps up. He's going to have to run this one. And now they have that one timeout left that they have to use here. And they will. Middle of the field, clock running. Use that timeout, they do. And remember, go back to November 17th, week 11. Packers won over the Bears 20-19 in Chicago. Cairo Santos had a 46-yard. The Packers could end up as the 6th seed if they can hang on. No more timeouts for Chicago. Caleb Williams in trouble, gets away from the first, and he throws as he's going down. The pass incomplete. Will it be intentional grounding? There was a receiver in the area, say the officials on the field. So it will not be an intentional grounding call as he avoids the sack.
It's so critical that he's able to avoid this sack. Aaron Mosby goes over the top, and he's draped right there, and just a great job. Cole Kmet is in the area. He's throwing the ball towards Cole Kmet on that play because he was still in the pocket.
Third down and 6.
And you get into
play clock winding down. It's at 2. It's at 1. They just get the snap off, but there's confusion. There's a flag down. The toss to the sideline. It's DJ Moore. He's tackled in bounds. They'll stop it with the penalty with 15 seconds to play in the fourth. I'm not sure everybody was set.
Although we're inside 2 minutes, the game clock was stopped. There we have a live ball illegal shift. Offense number 2. They're never getting set. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
But it's actually, it can be either or. It can either be DJ Moore, number 2, out to the right here, and then Roma Dunze here. They were both kind of moving at the same time, and it's to what Kevin said. You're rushing that clock as it's going down. I mean, they got it snapped as late as they possibly could. Why were those guys not in position at that time with your quarterback under center and the play clock about to run out? It's the details that will get you beat.
So they've got to get this out of bounds because they can't spike it if they don't get the first down. But a timeout used by Green Bay first. 3rd and 11. Packers up 1, 22-21.
Well, it's how much you execute these plays, right? We used to be able to complete a pass in the field of play, run our field goal team out, and attempt the field goal in about 16 seconds. They're inside that. The next one is, can we throw the ball in the field of play, get up there and clock it? But on 3rd down, you've taken away that option. So God, they put themselves in such difficult positions every time.
3rd and 11. Williams over the middle. It's DJ Moore. He's got to get up there quickly to spike it. No timeouts. 6 seconds and counting. Bears get set. Williams spikes the football. 2 seconds to go. And just like in week 11, it's going to come down to a Cairo Santos field goal try.
What a great job. You get the trio on the right here, and you get one-on-one on this side. And again, it's a great route. You got the whole middle of the field open, and you go into that play. That takes about 12 seconds. They were at 15. They got it done in 13.
Caleb Williams, who's looking for his first career game-winning drive to end his first season. It'll come down to Cairo Santos from 51 yards. Scott Daly, the snapper. Torrey Taylor, the holder. Good snap. Good hold. The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good! The Bears' losing streak comes to an end on the final play of the regular season, as Chicago comes to Lambeau and upsets the Packers 24-22. And Cairo Santos tries to Lambeau leap and denied. Caleb Williams, a game-winning drive, and Santos delivers for Chicago.
They had Big Matt Pryor at left guard, right over where Carl Brooks was, who blocked this field goal attempt at Soldier Field earlier this season. And after losing so many games this season, on the final play, to break the losing streak, to avoid being a part of the all-time single-season consecutive game losing streak, they do it on the final play of the game.
10-game losing streak, over. 11-game skid against the Packers, over. For Daryl Johnston and Laura Oakman and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Kugler. We go to Los Angeles.